Have you ever wondered why the ancients, from Greece to Egypt to India, all spoke of gods and goddesses? Why they built temples, told stories, and prayed to them, even though deep down they too sensed one ultimate source behind it all? Were they really worshipping many gods, or were they trying to describe something deeper, something within us, not outside? Stay with me until the end of this video, because by the time we finish, you might see that what people once called gods and goddesses are not in conflict with Islam at all, but reflections of the same divine reality expressed in another language. There is a bridge between the gods and Islam, a bridge not made of doctrine or belief, but of vision, the kind that opens within the heart. For thousands of years, before there were mosques or temples, human beings looked up at the sky and felt the same pull towards something greater. They gave names to the unseen forces that shape our world and our souls: Isis, Athena, Shiva, Ganesh, not as rivals to the one, but as reflections of the one's countless faces. To speak of the infinite is impossible, so the ancients spoke in symbols. They saw the pulse of life and death, the fire of transformation, the whisper of wisdom, the tenderness of love, and gave them form. They told stories of gods and goddesses not because they believed in many creators, but because they sensed the one expressing itself through infinite modes of being. When a sage called upon Shiva, he was invoking the power to destroy illusion so that truth may be born. When one prayed to Ganesh, the elephant-headed remover of obstacles, he was awakening divine intelligence, the harmony between strength and clarity that clears the path toward the real. And when a devotee called upon Kali, it was to awaken the fierce compassion that slays the ego and gives birth to freedom. In Islam, we know these same forces as the beautiful names of God: Al-Muhyi, the giver of life; Al-Mumit, the taker of life; Al-Hakim, the all-wise; Al-Fattah, the opener of the way. Different languages, different stories, same source, same light. The Quran reminds us, to God belong the most beautiful names, so call upon Him by them. The ancients did the same, though their language was myth and poetry instead of scripture. They too were calling upon the names of the One, but through living symbols. The mistake came when humanity forgot that these images were only signs, not the thing itself. They began to worship the reflection, not the light it reflected. But the mystics of every tradition remembered. They saw through the veil of form to the eternal truth shining beneath it. You see, the real power of these symbols is not in the statues or the stories, but in what they awaken within us. They are keys to the inner world, mirrors of our own soul. When you contemplate Shiva, you awaken the capacity for transformation. When you reflect on Athena, you stir the wisdom already seated in your mind. When you meditate upon Ganesh, you activate the intelligence that knows how to harmonize chaos into clarity. The ancients knew something we've largely forgotten, that all experience unfolds within consciousness. Our entire life is being perceived from within us. Nothing is truly out there. It is all happening in here, in the vast inner sky of awareness. So when the mystic speaks of gods and goddesses, they are not speaking of beings in the clouds, but of living archetypes within the soul, currents of divine energy that move through the ocean of consciousness. To awaken these archetypes is to awaken different dimensions of our own being. It is to remember that we are not separate from the source. We are its reflection. When the prophet said, "God is more merciful to his servant than a mother to her child," he was not introducing something new. He was revealing what the ancients once personified as Isis or Parvati, the divine mother's compassion that breathes through all creation. Perhaps the gods and goddesses were never many. Perhaps they were facets of one infinite diamond, each revealing a different quality of the one light. To honor them now is not to build temples of stone, but to awaken their qualities within our being. Let Athena's wisdom guide your thoughts. Let Kali's courage burn your falsehoods. Let Shiva's stillness dissolve your illusions. Let Ganesh remove the obstacles that veil your heart, all in service of the one who has no second. If you've made it this far, perhaps something in you already knew this truth, that the stories of gods and goddesses were never about idols in the sky. They were about you, about awakening the sacred within your own soul. The bridge between the many and the one is not found in temples or texts, but in the heart that dares to see unity behind every form. So as you leave this video, take a quiet breath. Remember that every moment of your life, every joy, every loss, every transformation is the divine speaking through you. And when you look upon another tradition, another symbol, another face of the infinite, look with the eyes of oneness, because the light has never been divided. It only appears so until the heart remembers. If this reflection stirred something within you, please subscribe and share this light with someone else, because every soul that remembers unity brings us one step closer to remembering who we truly are.